Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Stock Picks by Tim, and I want to wish you a happy Halloween. You're probably watching this and it's already after the fact, but regardless, happy Halloween. Now we're going to get into three of my picks today. We're going to look at Indi, one of my favorite chip stocks. We're going to look at CleanSpark, a Bitcoin miner, and we're also going to look at any Sphere 3D, another Bitcoin miner. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright folks, and starting off with Indi, one of my favorite semiconductor plays. This one hasn't been around all that much. Previously it was a SPAC, at the typical SPAC price around $10, got a little bit of hype into the merger, dropped after the merger, and we were trading around $8, $9, and we've had a nice run recently, hanging out right around that $13 level. But we're going to get into the chart, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here on Indi. Alright, now as for Indi, INDI is the ticker here. We are still trading in this diagonal pattern here. I am looking at the floor at $11. So if this does drop in the short term, if we can come back to the mid 12s, low 12s. Now, if we stay around here, if we just trade sideways for a while, most likely I'll actually consider selling a put. And I believe the available prices are 8, 10, and 12.50. I'll go with that 12.50, hopefully getting a decent bit of premium, being awful close to that strike. And I'm feeling very, very confident in this one. If it hits that strike price or under, on that Friday, whichever Friday I end up going with, and I get assigned the 100 shares, that's totally fine with me. I already do have a cash secured put for the $10 strike, and I highly doubt that that's ever going to hit 10, at least until I think it's like the 19th of November is when that one expires. But I'm feeling very confident with that. I wouldn't currently go with the $10 strike because it's probably just not worth the premium. Okay, you can go ahead and look at it for yourself. I got $42 for the premium for that. Right now where it's at, it probably isn't even worth bothering. But the 12.50, if you're very bullish on Indi like I am, the 12.50 could be a great spot to do a cash secured put, 12.50 strike, and you can go out, mid-November or something like that, get a decent bit of money there. Now zooming in a little bit more, we've got this nice pattern forming. We actually had a gap, so I might be looking to fill. If this can fill that gap, I'll be more than happy to buy some shares, like I said, around that 11.50. Now, we do have this pattern though. It'll be a nice big green candle, a little bit of a pullback, nice big green candle, pullback, and we've been just stair-stepping here. I think maybe institutionals are catching on to this one. I don't think this is retail. I feel like institutionals are finally catching on, but I will follow that up in the future here on another video. Now, as for one of my next favorite stocks, this one's got to be none other than CleanSpark. I've got a decent position in this one. This one also is one of my highest conviction plays. It's a play on Bitcoin, on solar, on microgrid. Very bullish on this one, and let's get into the charts here. Now, as you can all see with CleanSpark here, CLSK, we did break that 20 now. So we're right around that 20. We're going to see if it can hold as a support. But if it does dip, I could definitely see this coming back a little further, maybe to that 18 range. But we are still in this nice diagonal pattern. Okay, we keep bouncing right off of that. We bounced there, bounced there. Oh, keep in mind there's a gap. Bounced there, gapped up, bounced again. And this thing has just been on a tear. And honestly, Bitcoin's been just right around that, going from 67, 65 down to 60, 62. And right now where it's at, we're going to get into Bitcoin price in just a second. You will see when I go through on the 1 year, we are overbought. 6 month, we're right around overbought. 3 month, 1 month, we're cooling off now. But when you look at the longer picture, we are definitely overbought. So I feel like this can definitely pull back. I'm just going to get into Bitcoin now here. Now, over the weekend, we did kind of have a little bit of a drop compared to where we were here on Friday. Okay, we were at about 61, 62, and then after hours, it just took off here. I don't think Bitcoin is going to be on CleanSpark's side this time. Bitcoin's going to be pushing this down since we're kind of down in that low 60. And, things can change very quickly. Perhaps overnight we have a nice rally. Definitely keep in mind, depending on what Bitcoin does, keep a close eye on it, okay? Because if we come into the market and Bitcoin is starting to get on a tear, coming up to the 64s or something, I can definitely see CleanSpark running. Otherwise, I don't think CleanSpark's going to do much specifically. I'm not very bullish on the short term for CleanSpark, definitely bullish on the long term. Now, if Bitcoin just kind of stays where it is or even dips a little bit, I highly doubt that CleanSpark's going to have a good day Monday. But we'll see how it does for the rest of the week. I think it definitely has to cool down a little bit before we get that next leg up. And if it does cool down, I've got a price target to buy more at, and I'm going to be looking to buy at about 16, 17, just kind of, just adding to my position. I was more than happy to buy at the 11s, 12s, 13s. I don't think we're going to see that again. But we do have the earnings coming up here, so be on the lookout for that. Maybe you want to just wait until after earnings to add to this position. It could go either way at this point with earnings, but I'm definitely very interested to hear what they have to say. I'm going to be listening to this for sure, and I'm going to be listening. I'm especially excited to hear about their microgrid side of things. Everything has kind of been Bitcoin. Everything's been about Bitcoin, but the more we focus on microgrid, the less this will trade neck and neck with Bitcoin, which I think is a good thing in my opinion. Now that is it for CleanSpark. Next, we're going to get into Any. Good old Sphere 3D. This one is going to be merging with Griffin. Now in my last video, I covered this a little bit and the potential dilution here. Once the merger happens, once the merger is complete, they will issue another 111 million shares. I believe it was 111 million shares. But regardless, that's quite a lot considering our current outstanding shares. We're at like 58. That's all of our shares. So that's definitely something to be wary of. But long term, I'm definitely very bullish on Griffin. They have a fantastic team. We've got a couple of people from Riot Blockchain. Okay, very interesting stuff. We've got people from Disney, a lot of experience here in this list of executives. I'm very excited for Griffin. And I'll leave you guys a link because there's a couple of videos you can watch here of their miners in action. Very cool stuff. I've showed a video of this before, but regardless, I will leave you a link so you can check it out and keep posted on this. Now getting into the chart here on Any, we have been having a nice sell-off. I mean, you could call it nice depending on which way you're looking at it. I think it's nice because I don't mind buying in this range, this lower channel range, because we seem to have a nice bit of support. Now, this does like to bounce off the low 5s, mid 5s. Lately, it seemed to be like the low 6s was the floor, but now we're kind of breaking that. And, I'm very willing to scoop this up in the low 5s, but if we bounce into this next channel, I will definitely be considering taking about 20-25% off of the table and taking some profits on this one, especially with that merger coming up soon and just the potential for dilution. There can still be some hype leading up to the merger, especially if we actually get a definitive date. There will be a hype leading up to that date, but we don't have a definitive date yet. This could be anytime this quarter or potentially next quarter, according to an analyst that probably has more knowledge on it than me. But most likely this will be merging either this quarter, so by December, or next quarter, sometime January, February, that kind of thing. But honestly, I'm definitely looking to take some profits up here. I don't mind. I will continue to hold the rest though, so I'll take about 25% like I said. But not worried about this one in the long term. Short term, once that merger happens, like I said, you'll probably see those negative articles talking about all the issuance of new shares, and that won't have a good effect on the stock price. But long term, definitely very bullish on Any. And like I said with Bitcoin, same thing with CleanSpark. This kind of trades with Bitcoin as well. It does depend. We had this run up here, and this was this run up right here actually. There was an article that came out by just a random vlogger. It didn't hold any weight to it. It was just basically their opinion on Elon Musk joining their board or being a chairman or something, So that was just like hearsay, that's just someone's opinion. So it quickly sold off as quick as it came up. That was a very, very easy day trade. And, I am looking to see this come and touch those 8s. If we can have a nice rally, just like with CleanSpark, look for Bitcoin to have a nice rally this week. Keep an eye on it. It definitely helps to keep Bitcoin closely on your watch. But that's basically it for you guys. Indi, CleanSpark, Any, 3D Sphere. I love these stocks. These are a few of my favorites. Definitely very interested in the chip space, the Bitcoin mining, microgrid. I love that kind of stuff. Thanks again, everybody. Let me know in the comments below which one of these are your favorite stocks and why. I will see you on the next one.